Hey guys, doing Eric here. Today's Monday, July the 3rd. Beautiful morning up here in Gilpin County. Just kind of calm and still and warm. Feels nice. Yeah, today's Monday, and it's not a weekend, but it's not a holiday, but a lot of people aren't working today. This is what they call the tweener day, between the holiday and the weekend. So it's one of those rare occasions here in America where we get a 4-day weekend for a lot of people. That's very few and far between when that happens, but a lot of times if a holiday falls on a Tuesday, like it does this year, so you get an extra day off. The only other 4-day weekend I can think about is Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people get 4 days off, but you know, in America, we love our long weekends. We have a lot of 3-day weekends, but rarely do we get a 4-day. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the 4th of July. You know, big celebration here in the States. And I just found out yesterday that they're canceling the fireworks show up here where I live, up in Nederland, Colorado, because there's no funding this year, I guess. Every year they get the firemen to go out and they stand around in the circle in Nederland and with their boots out, and people put money in the boot, and that's how they fund the fireworks show there. But I guess this year the firemen just didn't feel like doing it, so there will be no fireworks show in Nederland this year. Kind of a bummer. So I think I'm going to have my nephews come up because there's not going to be any fireworks. So, but they might come up anyways, who knows. But yeah, I remember 4th of July of my childhood, you know, back in the 70s. And man, that was amazing. It really was some kind of a spectacle back in them days. I remember my family, we'd all go to this park in Burbank, California, the Cambridge Park, where it was just Americana, man. And we were armed to the teeth with fireworks. And my uncle would go down to Mexico every year and buy a bunch of illegal fireworks, because those are the only ones that were any fun. Like what we really liked was pop bottle rockets and black cats and M80s. Those were the fireworks that everybody wanted to. And man, the whole park would be setting up, man. The whole place would be like a war zone. Boom, boom, boom. Just fireworks going off everywhere. People lighting their own, you know. And the cops didn't really bother anybody about it. Nowadays, man, be in deep trouble. You know, because, well, back in them days in Burbank and LA County, there was only any kind of firework that exploded or went off the ground was illegal. I think it's that way here in Colorado now. The whole state of Colorado is that way. In a lot of places, it's just no fireworks at all. Around here, it's not a good idea to be lighting off fireworks anyways. It's just too dangerous. But yeah, we'd go to the park, and man, it was just everybody would be camped out or, you know, doing a big old picnic on the grass at the park. Just the whole park was covered with people. Everybody just having an amazing time playing games, and they had a swimming pool there, and we'd go swimming because it was so hot. All the kids would go swimming, and the parents would sit around the picnic and play games, and we'd go swimming, and they had to have a carnival there every year in the parking lot, and they had rides, and we'd go on the rides, and they had games where you could win prizes and all that kind of shit. Man, it was amazing. And they'd have a parade every year. But Burbank really knew how to do the 4th of July back in the day. I don't know what it's like now, but I remember back in then, man. Yeah, we'd go there every year, and it really was an amazing time. And then I remember as we got older, we'd still go there, you know, but we'd all drop acid every 4th of July when I got to be like 16 or 17 years old. Uh, that was the big thing to do. Drop acid and watch the fireworks back in them days. That's when we still thought acid was a bad drug, but I've come to find out now that it really isn't dangerous at all. It doesn't kill brain cells like they say it does. It's really quite harmless, but the powers that be don't want us doing it because it makes us think outside of the box, you might say, and they don't want us thinking outside of the box. They want us doing drugs like caffeine and alcohol and nicotine, the legal drugs that keep you inside the box. Anyways, yeah, so I'd make a little video today talking about what the 4th of July used to mean to me and what it means to me now. You know, I used to believe in all that. I remember the 4th of July of '76. That was a big one. The bicentennial. And that year, I came here to Colorado for a vacation with my mother and my brothers and sisters. My stepdad at the time didn't come, but I guess my mom and him needed some time away from each other. So we all came to Colorado, and that was an amazing 4th of July. Man, I was 9 years old at the time, and I'll never forget that trip, man. We drove, my grandmother came too. We all drove across the United States from California to Denver, and it was an amazing journey. We stopped at the Grand Canyon, but we were there at night. We couldn't find a hotel room to stay in, so we wanted to see the Grand Canyon, but we were unable to because there was just nowhere to stay. It was just totally booked out, so we had to move on from the Grand Canyon. We were all kind of bummed out about that. I know I was, because I really wanted to see the Grand Canyon. But yeah, that was a trip, man. We came out here to Colorado, and there was a big party downtown Denver on the 4th of July. And that was one of the greatest 4th of Julys I ever remember, man. It was some kind of a party, and I remember there was a booth where you could throw a ring over a bottle or something, and if you hit it, the lady would give you a kiss. I remember that. I'll never forget that one. But yeah, it was memories of 4th of July and that trip in 1976. It was one of the greatest vacations of my life, man. It was so incredible. And there was a flood. That was the year when the big Thompson flood happened, and we just happened to be up in the mountains with my uncle fishing at the time when these storms went over. And man, we went fishing at this lake up in northwestern Colorado, and man, we caught so many trout, huge trout. Man, it was amazing. And we had this big old rainstorm that came. We camped out there for like 2 nights, and it rained and rained. I mean, it rained so much. It was like the whole ground became a river. So that storm went over us, and that's the storm that caused the big Thompson flood. Killed like hundreds of people. It was a terrible flood, man. You can look it up. But yeah, I remember we were driving through that storm too, man. I never seen it rain so hard in my life. I think it might have been early stages of weather manipulation. Yep, I think so. I've heard people talk about that too. And the flood we had here in 2013 was definitely weather manipulation. So anyways, yeah, just a few thoughts on the 4th of July. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.